There is no organisation that compares to FRRR's ability to communicate, to offer support, processing times. It's just really quite extraordinary to work with this organisation. FRRR is extremely helpful if you've made an error or if you don't know what to do. And I haven't come across that in any other organisation. I find the FRRR grant application itself, the questioning, the little notes that are under the main question that give you a helpful hint, even the way you can structure your answers, that's unique and very supportive. I truly believe that most of our events couldn't have actually taken place without FRRR support, because it is not it's not cheap bringing world-class musicians out here and engaging Australian composers, nor should it be, because they truly have been working since they were about 4 years old to master their instrument. They have spent more years than most dedicated to a single craft to be that good. I think that we present very moving, very impassioned performances, and why not? Why can't the country people have that too? Most of us can't afford to take a week away from our stock or from our families or from an elderly relative or from life out here to go to Sydney or Melbourne. It's not achievable for almost everyone out here. So we try to bring it to them. And so it just simply wouldn't happen without FRRR's support. Well, I know it's having a multi-generational effect in our communities. We have had audiences come to specifically 60 plus years of age events, and we've catered to their needs in terms of the pace of a concert or a presentation, thematic choices in terms of what music we may present that they will find enjoyable, thought-provoking, perhaps stir nostalgia, and just to create happy experiences, but also touch on happy memories. We've also tried to cater to that with some trivia and some food. So we really try to make some of our events holistic in the way that they kind of celebrate people and music and how that all comes together. And then we've also had experiences for youth, enriching experiences. So they might come in the form of a performance, or they might come in the form of a really immersive workshop. And then we really address that hardworking, middle-aged or family-making aged group of people out here that actually sometimes miss out on a really kind of vibrant artistical cultural life because they don't live in a capital city where they can access that all the time. So we try to present music and workshops, performances that are interesting, maybe sometimes challenging, introducing new ideas and introducing some of the new sounds that are coming out of Australia. For example, we commission works from Australian composers, and we ask those Australian composers to kind of relate their music to our rural experience and life out here. And we've had some really great feedback from community about that, because I think a lot of Australians get a bit scared about Australian classical music and don't necessarily understand that it can be very touching and authentic and relatable. It doesn't have to be the weird and wacky. It really can be very beautiful, and it can very much relate to our landscape out here. Our Warren Chamber Music Festival facilitated community choir, which has been running for over 2 years now, that's had a huge impact on the community. And not just the Warren Shire, even though it's a Warren Shire choir, members from Gilgandra and Dabo came over for a concert collaboration that we did with the Australian Vocal Ensemble. And our community choir is something that happens outside of our major festival event. The wellbeing benefits that it's had on individual choir members just about brings me to tears, because you can be isolated even in a small community. And I'm just thinking right now about one gentleman who stopped singing decades ago. Later in life, he needed to nurse an elderly wife who was very sick, who recently passed away. And I know for a fact that choir has almost brought him back to life in terms of his in community engagement. And so that's just one of really 30 stories of almost a revival in people, and music and choral singing and forming a choir, which is just a community group, has specifically changed those people. So FRRR has funded 2 distinct projects that were specifically for our choir. And so that stands out to me as not just great music experiences and artistic and cultural vibrancy, but well-being, kind of transformative well-being for people. We're trying to reach different sectors of the community with music, because we really see music taking off some of our inhibitions out here, maybe pulling back some layers and uniting people from different walks of life through music experiences. It's a very powerful form for connecting humans to each other. I have always targeted events and experiences that could have kind of long-reaching goals, long-reaching effects, perpetual motion almost. I think that it's lovely for people who may want to leave a bequest to know that FRRR has oversight, really, I think really great oversight in terms of the effectiveness of the use of that money. You can't put forward to FRRR a trivial event. They've really, and in the grant applications, they're really looking for meaning making in community. So I would say people can feel comforted. They can feel assured from FRRR that the money would be well spent.